I'm writing a book on judo. It's all the old judo notes I ever had. I took 10 pages or so and figured out here. Thank you. So you have handouts. There'll be a test later. That's right. We'll have quick Q&A. There you go. I don't know if these will be helpful or not. The first 5 pages or so are one of the fundamental grappling here you go.
Thank you.
Lessons that Carl made out in 1988. And the last half relates to some notes from a lesson from Moose, from Rick Pollard, from I don't know when exactly, Shirai method stuff. And my general theme was to just kind of go over bits and pieces of this to give you a little taste of what it was coming up with that. And so, yeah, we'll just start with the beginning. He would describe a set of basic movements on the ground, saying the problem with Waza is that we all suck at laying around on the ground and moving, and that you have to build a skill set or a set of different skill sets to move efficiently. And the first one we started with was chest crawl. So show them a chest crawl. I'm not going to make everybody do chest crawls. I sure as hell ain't going to do chest crawls. But the main thing is, yeah, 2 hands to come together. Okay, now whoa. When you reach out, cross your hands, close them, and pull them apart this way. There you go. Reach out, cross the hands, pull them apart. And he's not using his toes, which is good. He's not cheating. Most of us learned chest crawls and we cheated. We would use our toes and scooch along a little bit. Pull it apart. The strongest way to use your arms in isolation to move your ass across the floor. And the hands come apart at the end. Yes. They grip and come apart at the end. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much, as long as they're crossed and opening apart. There you go. There you go. And don't kill yourself, just a few. Great. Then we had the shrimp. You know how to do the shrimp. Show them the shrimp. Boom. Boom. And this is important that it's one leg at a time. That as he pulls this leg up, boom, and he jacks his hip in the air. His elbows stay tight, and see if you can kick higher with your ass that way. Boom, yeah. Boom, there we go. Boom. Elbows tuck in, hands stay together. Not grabbing their own hands, but tucked in. Good. 1 foot at a time. Good. You should also be able to walk around in a circle from the shrimp position, so you can walk from foot to foot and make a circle. So, yeah, as you're walking. So just walking. There you go. Walk in the circle. Yeah, and stay in that side cocked up position and walk around in a circle. There you go. You can cross legs. You can keep the legs splayed either way. There you go. It's excellent. The next biggie was the push-up position with your hips down and slipping your hips underneath themselves so that you go out to a wide position with the legs. And the wide position with the legs, with the toes down, big toe, and the little toe. Then he swings the top leg over to get square and underneath itself and goes to the other side. Boom. And now all the way under to the other side. Now you're going 2 things. 1 thing. There you go. 1 thing. There you go. And try to get them wider. There you go. There you go. And landing on the toes each time. Little toe, big toe. Little toe, big toe.
Here's a question.
Yes?
To what extent can I just do it picking up this foot, shoving that one through?
That's a good beginning thing.
Don't do that.
You do it like that for a while until you can just switch. Yeah. All at once. Yeah.
Too bumpy?
That's okay. Ideally, you want to keep it as low as possible. You want to be landing on the little toes each time. There you go. There you go. Good. Good. Yeah, and trying to stay low. Trying to keep the hips as low as possible. Great. That's always fun. Rolling forward and back is simple ukemi, basically. From a tuck position, knee down, leg out, roll over, and going all the way over, and then all the way back. Simple forward and back roll. That's critical skill. There you go. Knee down, leg out, roll over, and reverse it. Yeah. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Good. Alligator roll. You make your body long. You put your arms out and your legs out. You try not to use your arms or your legs, just your torso. And you roll like an alligator. Bob Ray, who many of you have met, was once training with Rick Pollard, Moose, and holding him in Tateshio in a semi-competitive engagement because they would do that with each other all the time, being two monster-sized guys. And Moose's alligator roll was so powerful that he just shifted his body and did alligator roll and broke Bob's big toe. Just pow! Just exploded through it, which is unimaginably powerful. I mean, that guy's got monster feet, and but that's a monster doing through it. So we do this action, and it just feels like a funny little thing. But actually, it can be a quite dynamic activity coming out of your whole torso. So alligator roll, something not to forget about. And people tend to. Last one's bridge and roll. So you're bridging from your back all the way up across. Your hand is going to come by your ear, and you're going to bring your hips in the air. That's right. The palm goes to the floor. Good. And in between each one, you're crunching. Crunch. There you go. Crunch. There you go. Crunch. Drive largely from the balls of the feet. Try not to drive so much from your heels. Good.
If your heels don't touch, or should they touch?
They can touch. You just don't want to be driving off the heel structure so much as the ball of the foot. Good. Good. And we did copious amounts. Greg, you remember this. We just probably took a day of just doing nothing but that stuff.
I think there was a clinic where he said, Moose said we were doing way too much.
That's right. But if you don't have the fundamental movements down, it's really hard to make applications from them. And those were what was considered at the time, in 1988 at least, the application of the fundamental stuff. Now, from that, we went into a whole defensive mode game that had to do with two hands in one place and drawing the man in. Two hands in one place is a description of you have one person coming in to grapple with the other on the ground, being the defensive one, is going to establish some grip on the top man coming in. The hands would like to be in proximity. They don't grab themselves, but they grab right next to each other. The structure of the pull is such that you make one triangle that's going this way, flat. You make the second triangle that's going that way. They come together and form a spike that your head is tucked down into. So from a bridging position, like lay down in a bridging position, and reach out like you're coming in to encounter somebody up where I'm at, yeah. And as you bridge, everything tucks into these triangulated positions. This hand would be here, there. And these would come together to form a spike that's strong in this direction and a spike that's strong in this direction. And even though we can't make his elbows go together without disarticulating his shoulder, he would like to squeeze those together as much as possible and tuck his head into that little pocket that they create. Boom. So you're creating a spike that if they were strong and able to defeat this one, by going that way to it, this one would still catch their ass. And if they're evil and try to draw this one and get that out of the way, this one would still bust their ass, okay? So it's a self-supporting architecture is the game. So try just bridging and arching and see how closely you can bring your elbows together with your hands not grabbing each other, but in proximity to each other. There you go. Try to touch the elbows as much together as possible. There you go. Good. And go both sides. Boom. And it's as if you've reached out and got a hold of a lapel or a sleeve or a belt or a piece of gi somewhere or a pant leg. And as they're falling on you, you would be bridging in and using this pointed structure, this double-sided pointed structure, everything trying to go like that, to be the surface that you're actually going to make contact with their body with. I know it's harder to get those elbows together. There you go. There you go. Good. There you go. Skinny guys do it easier. There you go. Like one big spike. One giant spike. Boom. Good. Now, if you'd like to take a partner and feel what that's like from the receiving end, I encourage that as well. Do it as much as you like. Do it as slow as you like. Do it lightly, I would recommend, because the guy coming in is going to wind up impaled a little bit. If you like to, once you have them impaled, then you drive with the legs. Okay? And so you're motivating them from a defensive position to not wind up crushing you. Okie doke? You want to try just a few reps? Don't hurt each other. Just a few reps. Reach out. Maybe grab a sleeve. A sleeve is usually nice. 2 hands in one space. That's right. And try to get the elbows together and drive with the legs. That's right.
Self-preservation.
Yeah, 2 hands together and drive with the legs. There you go. Simple little driving action. He should feel those elbows in contact with his rib cage. Yeah, it's very unpleasant. That's right. Good. Yeah, and we would do this for many, many, many repetitions. That's right.
Yeah. Right. I don't want you. I don't want 2 hands. If you get 2, because the other thing is my arch. If you get ass,
You're doomed.
I can defend that pretty easy. Here, it's like one side.
Right.
Or it's hard.
Right.
They're not harder for me to defend.
Now, when you're placing your hands for maximal goody, they'll have the maximal effect if the cross hand is high.
That hand's up high?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Does it matter which direction you go at that point?
No.
I mean, if you pick the cross hand.
The cross hand will make it that you're going to go in this diagonal or this diagonal, but cross hand high will make it stronger. Cross hand high will make it stronger. Ideally, when they're coming in, yeah, if you're reaching to do here, this would be your cross hand. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's the high position. I'm just saying, when you reach in, if you reach mirror side high, and to bring her this way, versus cross hand high, to bring her this way. Yeah.
When you said cross hand is the,
This is his cross hand to your body. Yeah. Right.
oh, cross hand high.
Yeah. Cross hand high will be stronger leverage as you draw them down. Yeah. So if you're coming here, you would probably be reaching this cross hand high. You could reach either cross hand high, but if you're reaching this hand high, it'd be this color. Okay. Right? Yeah. 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 There you go. Cool. Now we're to escapes, and this is where the rubber meets the road in terms of Mr. Geiss's work. One of his teachers was a fellow named Usajima, and Usajima's great strategic idea in grappling was that you work from the gutter. You work from the worst positions and progress from there. You don't work from the dominant topside positions, work from the weak positions. And so you start with fundamental escaping work. And one of his lessons had to do with the fact that there aren't any classical escapes. There are classical hold-down positions, and there are classical weaknesses. There are places in each hold-down where things get weak, and you have to learn where those places are. But any escape that works, works. You don't really care much that you do this particular escape or that particular escape. And so he had a set of drills that all dealt with methods of learning where those weaknesses were. So we start with kesa-gatame. Kesa-gatame, hold down. Who would like to start kesa-gatame, please? Yeah, come on out, man. Judo man from Mississippi. All right.
Who's getting killed?
I don't care. Doesn't matter either one. The big deal in learning the escape issues around kesa-gatame is that we want...
Which one you want?
That's just regular cases, fine. Is we would like to limit the use of this hand first. We're just going to put that on your belly. You don't get to grab at. You're just going to use this hand. And as he drives in with this outside leg and brings his torso in contact with John, boom, he gets tight and close, and that foot will set, boom, here. And he wants to make this hand become the operator, right here. And he would like to push it against my hand in this direction with the drive of the legs, right up here, up there, almost, there you go, keep driving, good. And now it's John's turn, and again, John wants to take this hand out entirely, drive in with the legs, and open this palm, and drive right up over his ear. There you go, good. And they just take turns. Very simple. It's important that you learn it with the single hand. There's a grave temptation to start off by gripping here. By reaching in, hugging, gripping, doing things with this hand. That's like for extra special occasions. When you're learning it and you're trying to get the form down and the line down, you try to learn it purely with this single hand position. Drive in, drive out. And it should become like a 1-2 action. Pop in, pop out. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. There we go. Keep your abs working as you do it. Don't drive in and then disconnect your abs and then try to drive out. Drive in, keep everything tight through your torso, and then drive out with the legs. Boom, in and out. There you go. Good. When you hit a wall, this time, hold him in such a way that when he drives in and tries to drive out, he hits the wall. Yeah, top man's moving a little bit. He has a tougher time. John then wants to drive in and try to drive out and fail. Go ahead. He tries to drive out and fails. Boom. He drives back in again. Drives back out again. Drives back in again. And see, John's already doing the trick. He's starting to reach in here and do this. Once you're hitting the failure, go ahead and hug this, but do not grip. Hug it up like a great tree, like a three-toed sloth, right? You just keep setting this giant hook, and the giant hook goes deeper and deeper and squeezes in. Go ahead, squeeze in, and you can hoss him up. Go ahead. Boom, there we go. Great. And working up with progressive resistance is important. Start with zero resistance, just going in, going out, going in, going out, like going to the gym and lifting a weight that you can work with. And progressively, your partner wants to incrementally dial it up over time until you're hitting close to failure or at failure. And then you learn the modifications that you have to do for cheating, which is, you don't want to go and cheat at the beginning lifting the weight. So you can pick the weight up by cheating, right? Or you can pick the weight up with proper form. We're trying to learn the proper form first and hold off on the cheating until you get into the situations where it's required. Does that make sense? Cool. So start with kesa and maybe do, 10 on a side. Each person. Start it with a single hand, going right up over the ear, drive in, drive out, and then we'll go from there. Cool? And if you want to turn up the volume a little bit and get a little tougher with your partner, let the partner who's doing it decide that. So on the bottom, if you really want it to be a little harder, say, oh yeah, give me a little problem here. Don't just Don't just arbitrarily start making it harder for them, in other words. Make it a condition that you're both agreeing to. Yeah? Okay, cool. Try, please. Kesa. Bridge and roll. Head down, leg grab, evil bastard.
Go here.
Yeah, try not to use that top hand if you can. Try to leave this hand on your belly. Out of the picture. Drive in and hug him up with this structure. And bring it up over your ear, over your ear. If it's going across your body where it feels strong, it's very weak. It has to go up over your ear. And you'll feel it. He'll do it to you. There you go. There you go. And that's it. Sweet, John. Uh-oh. You're all spread out. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Spread it out. Good.
So now I've actually got to do kesa.
Drive in.
And I want to keep this as close to him as possible, just like I'm touching my ear.
Drive in, drive out. Drive in. There you almost. Feel how it went flat across you at the end? That's a sign. That's a sign that it's fucked up. So, you drive in, and when you drive out, your objective is actually up over there. There'll be a strong temptation to drive in and then go, huh.
But that's wrong. And you felt it.
Yeah, you get a bigger guy, and you go, strong, 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 oh hell, he crushes you right here. And you think, damn, that sucked. It's supposed to go all the way in. Try not to use your second hand if you can. That's sideways, so you went across your chest, and if it was my size, you would be hurting right now. Oh, okay. Well, we don't want you to hurt. We don't want you to hurt, Brian. So when you go into him, that's great, but then when you come out, come toward me.
I'm not trying.
There you go. It has to go up over your ear, basically. It'll feel strong to go sideways, but it will be wrong. Hang on down. Somebody's holding you in kata-gatame. They've got your arm pinned up, and they're encircling your head, and they're driving in and crushing you and potentially choking you as well as killing you with the hold down. Okay? The knee is locked. Who'd like to hold kata-gatame? Anybody want to do kata-gatame? Yeah, here. So they can see the picture of it. The knee is down. She's got his arm entangled. She's squeezing around the head. Get the arm around his head. There you go. And she's squeezing into him and down so that she can put pressure into John's neck. Now, okay, let's move back out. Oh, sure. You want to see it with the camera? Turn your bodies a little bit. And people do kata-gatame from a kesa-looking position. They do it from the knee-up position. They're both good. If I were you, I'd bring this knee a little higher. Maybe a little higher yet. There we go. And I'd try to cause his upper body to bend slightly. There he is. Does that feel like it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, good. We got the general picture. The function in kata-gatame escape, first, is that John wants to turn into this and set this hand all the way as deep as this will go. Now, if he reaches on this side of her head to get as deep as it'll go, he'll get one effect. But if he, let's let go. If he actually reaches as deep as it'll go between the two arms, boom, he'll get different effects, okay? So the first part to think about, in fact, let's go to more of a munigatame position, if you don't mind. There you go. Is what happens with this outside arm. When John reaches up to try to set his grip, if he reaches from here, he'll have one sort of effect. But if he reaches here, he'll have a different effect. And you want to experience both long enough to be able to know that one sucks. The one that sucks is the one that's out here. The one that's actually going to get John the best bang for his buck is right here. He wants to reach between his head and her head. He wants to set that in a bridging action as deep as it'll go, and if possible, get a hold of her pants or her belt or whatever. The second action that takes place is John wants to set his elbow in this little opening right here. Boom. His hand makes a little fist by his ear. Good. And as he begins to bridge, that elbow will become the driving surface. Boom, 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 and take her right over. And see how she rolled off the top? That's really good. What he's doing when he does that is the correct way. If this body is the body he's working against, as he comes into this thing and this bridge sets in, the temptation is to try to bridge it this way. Boom. Okay? Many of you felt that when you're doing bridge and roll from kesa. And I came around and said, oh, that'll work on most nice people, but you get mean people and it'll just hurt. This is another reinforcement of that rule, that he comes in, and as the bottom elbow starts to drive, it's going to drive it that way. It's going to go up over that ear again. It's like a propeller action going into the top line, okay? So the two big elements, when you reach in, between the two heads is where the hand reaches in. The second big element, the elbow that's coming under, is not just a drive that's going to go across your body. It's going to be a drive that's going to put them over the opposite ear. Cool? Try it. Try it. But grind up into those fingers. Boom. And the fingers will tend to separate. And now we have the arm bar. The arm bar is extra credit. I don't care about the arm bar, because again, that's offensive side. We're doing the defensive side for now. Now it's her turn. And just set up a kata-gatame. Go however you like. And then we're going to pause and take a look at how you hold it. And how you like to hold the thing. Good. Okay, there she is. Great. Now sit up for it. Now go ahead and squeeze her so we can see that it's actually evil. It's evil. She feels it. Okay. Sit up and let everybody see where the hands are. This is what she has to get sensitive to. The position of the hands in relation to her neck and shoulders. So that as she bridges, she wants to go right into them. She doesn't want to bridge to one side or the other. She wants to go right into them and grind. See if you can grind towards him. Grind towards him. Grind towards him. Harder towards him. Harder towards him. Harder. Yeah! Bust it loose. Now she could reach up and keep bridging over, and she'll capture this arm. But again, that's extra credit. We'll do that later. Okie doke? Good. Those are the salient issues. One, you can't have this dangling out in space. It's got to protect you first. Second, you got to use a part of your anatomy that you're not used to feeling to kind of feel your way, like, where the hell are those hands? And if you get thick gis on, it's a little tougher. But you got to kind of get an intuition or a feeling in your body of where that structure of gripping is taking place. And the gripping, by the way, as you grip, never grip with your fingers together. Grip palm to palm, or maybe palm through one finger with a thumb. But never, never like this, okay? When they grind like this, fingers get broken, okay? So we're going to be in some... You can help it. That action actually is going to take place in kesa-gatame. We're going to get there. But sometimes if they're vigorously squeezing the piss out of you, you may need to drive their head over a little bit just to be able to set it in there. Not a bad idea. So if you have to use an extra cheater bar to get it there, that's fine, okay? Cool. Try it a little bit. Be gentle on each other's hands, if you will. Thank you. Go ahead. Cool, cool, cool.
His hands aren't in bad position. His body's in pretty good position. Tell him what you're trying to do, Joe.
Trying to keep pressure right here.
Trying to keep pressure in, and you're trying to
tighten in right here.
trying to push down into me, kind of like you're spiking it to the floor, right?
Yeah.
This is a common way that people conceive of it, that their conceptual model is a little funny. Instead of trying to go down, like you're pinning me into the floor, put your hands in there, snug them up really tight between this structure and your neck first. Okay, make sure there's no slack. Good, okay, no slack. Now your hands come together, wherever those come together naturally. Then think about doing a chest crawl with both hands.
Oh, shit.
Okay, now that's different. It's different. Are you doing a chest crawl? Hell no, you can't do a chest crawl. But that's what you're trying. This dumb thing we did at the start of class. Feel it. Okay, the first issue is I have my neck in counter, and it's been like a thumb and forefinger, and it's pinching between his neck and my neck, right? And then I should make no slack. It should be 0 slack. Does it feel like there's any slack? Kind of sucks already, doesn't it? I thought so. Then the hands come together. Okay. Then the chest crawl hurts. Yeah. And when you do this, like you're trying to go and pull your whole body through with that muscle action, it's very distinctive. Okay. That's why you actually have to do this. As long as you can sit there and hum and talk to you, it ain't really the thing. Okay? It's an unpleasant hold, but it's not the thing that's going to make him and die, right? Okay? Okay, cool.